Mosconi Cup 2022. Day 1, match 1, and Shane Van Boening is left with this.
Where's the cue ball ended up here? Oh my, SVP, he could have landed anywhere.
He's hooked behind the 6 ball, shooting the 4 ball, and then he sees an opportunity.
I don't believe he can pot the 9 here coming off the edge of the 4.
Yes, Carl, that is exactly what he is going to do. Check it out. This is the kind of shot that separates legend from everyone else.
He needs to hit this full. He's made the 9 ball! That's unbelievable! How's he done that to get him on the hill? That is ridiculous!
I was there in person. It was electric. And then years go by and I saw this on a highlight reel recently and I had 2 thoughts. Oh man, that was insane. And I gotta try it. So I did. And here's what surprised me. I had an idea of what I might learn by breaking it down and replicating it, but what I didn't see coming was how much it solidified 2 points in how I look at kick shots. And I'm willing to bet most of us amateurs are not always keeping these things in mind when looking at any kick shot, let alone something like this. But I was surprised of how much I had to remind myself of the things that Shane just instinctively knows how to do. So lots to work on for me. In this video, I'm gonna show you the shot, how I learned to replicate it, and then what us amateurs can actually take away from this that can transcend into more than just the scenario. So if you care about actually improving and not just copying highlight reels, stick with me. This is a good one. All right, I'm gonna try to figure out this shot. I've never done this before. I set up the balls the way they look on the overhead, so I'm just gonna go for it. I feel like I wanna hit, the outside of the 4, and I feel like it kind of naturally wants to make the 9. Try just rolling it. Oh, rolling did not work. I think he stuns it, right? Let's try stunning it. Ooh, that was closer. I'm gonna try even firmer. Ooh, that was, I think, the closest one. So firm is good. Hold on, let's measure this out. Yeah, let me just stop right there. I feel like I gotta preface this next bit with intention. There are times when measuring out a kick using whatever system is necessary. I, for one, am really bad at recognizing the moment that I should actually walk over to the line of the kick and take a good look at where I want the cue ball to travel. The reason I say that there are times and not do it all the time is just because it's an efficiency exchange, right? Spending some time and energy to hit a specific angle on an object ball is very different than when I feel comfortable that I'll hit the ball and I need to just play one side of the object ball or another and the right speed to really accomplish my goal. I feel like that's a better skill to develop than knowing specific kicking systems where precise measurements are used. But that said, this is one of those moments where you cannot just generalize part of the ball that you want to hit. So keep sticking around because how I measure this kick really matters. A lot of us amateurs, when we're playing these types of kicks, we're not really paying attention to the details while measuring. And the details matter. Just like subscribing really matters. Gotcha. But seriously though, real quick, it's not a surprise to many of you that I'm making more content lately. I'm really enjoying it. It's satisfying, gratifying, and the more of you that stick around for the journey, the more content I actually get to bring to you. That said, right now, only about 13% of you are actually subscribed. So if you want an easy way to support me and my journey here, subscribe, engage. It is the best way to ensure that I can keep making videos like this. Okay, back to measuring this kick out, and pay attention and let me know if you measure kicks out the same way that I do. I got a feeling you might not. So I want to strike the cue ball. If I'm going firm with a stunning hit, that means sliding cue ball. So where's the tangent line here? This is the spot on the 4 I want to hit, right? To send it on the tangent line to make the 9 ball. So now working my way back here, contact point is here, but guess what? With the ghost ball, this is the center of the cue ball is not what makes contact with the rail. This is what gets a lot of people confused. It's the edge of the cue ball, right? The outside edge here that makes contact with the inside part of the rail. I have to calculate from where the cue ball actually makes contact with the rail. So now I can take that measurement and double that, which is actually, oh, that's like almost right at this diamond. Okay, so let's aim the edge of the cue ball to that diamond. and stun that ball. Stun that ball. Come on, let's go. I'm not usually one to measure everything out, but you know, because of the nature of the shot, I wanted to be detailed. Okay, let's see if that is repeatable. Okay, hold on. Before I say it's repeatable, let's look at how it works. Shooting not the edge of the cue ball, but let's shoot the center of the cue ball, which is where most people actually play systems. They play at the center of that, the center of the cue ball to the diamond. Obviously too thick. So this is I think where the learning is. I am one of those players that will generalize a kicking system. I mean, not always. I've had some people teach me some things that are really, really useful. I'm not gonna say who. That makes it sound really elitist and stupid, but I'm gonna keep it in. Who cares? Generally speaking, I know not to trust systems when it comes to very awkward situations like this. The playing surface is not two-dimensional, right? The balls are not two-dimensional, they're three-dimensional. So let's do this one more time, lining up edge of the cue ball to the diamond. There you go, you guys, there's learning in here. I'm sure the me behind the editing screen right now is coming up with all sorts of words. Boy, am I. I wonder if there's another way to still make this 9-ball. Yeah, you would say that. Maybe it's easier than it looks. You're an idiot, stop talking. That is a kind of a big 9-ball. Haha, nope. You see, I tried making this 9-ball all sorts of ways. And you guys, look, this is where I gotta come clean about something about how I was gonna make this video. My plan was not to fail and fail and fail. Man makes plans and God laughs, right? You see, I thought I was gonna look so smart. I was gonna shoot this video and find some way to hit this ball where the spin, speed, and angle was gonna be somehow self-correcting and then make the 9 a whole bunch of ways and then explain that Shane was confident he was gonna make the ball because of it. You know, something in me really thought that was gonna happen. Was that stupid? Yes. Was I so wrong? Also, yes. But you know what? I suppose that actually makes how Shane pulls this off even more spectacular. And that's what makes him one of the greatest players ever. And once I accepted that I was not gonna find some magic pill for this shot, I started to look for clues on how to actually make this shot more understandable. And then I realized something. Check it out, you can see it in real time. I wanna put a rolling ball, right? A rolling, running spin ball, because I don't know, in my head, that's gonna come off the rail more naturally, but that's not what happens. Oh, I just realized something. I'm so stupid. He hit it that way just to make sure the cue ball came out straight from the rail. There it is. Good boy, Nate. I knew you could get there. This is the second takeaway from the shot, with the first being detailed in how you measure the kick. Take a look at how Shane measures this kick. He's not trying to calculate spin or anything fancy. He's just looking at how the cue ball is going to come off of the rail in just a straight line. Just angle in, angle out. Which on the surface sounds really obvious and stupid that I would think otherwise, but my brain at the table was trying to make sense of other factors, trying to find some self-correcting way to shoot this instead of just simplifying it and creating the conditions where the cue ball would want to travel in a straight line. You guys, this is a glancing angle. There's gonna be some bend of the cue ball on the reflection angle, right? So there's incoming angle of incidence and an outgoing angle of reflection, right? But with this, he ends up making it go straight. I think this goes to show that you can fight that arcing of the cue ball with a stunning hit and at least get the initial trajectory off the rail pretty straight. Okay, editor Nate, go back and see if he strikes it dead center or if he uses left or right spin, because now I'm getting a little curious. Yep, center ball. So I think the learning here is simple. The spin really matters for a shot like this, but just as much the spin matters, the speed also matters. Okay, let me demonstrate this idea because I'm not sure if it's coming across with just this shot. Angle of incidence does not always equal angle of reflection. If this is perfect geometry, I could go to the back of the side pocket from this diamond, right? And the cue ball should go towards the middle of the short rail, just mathematically speaking. Watch what happens. If I just roll the cue ball, the cue ball dives. It goes short. It went here. The reason is because there's physics at play. The cue ball wants to keep rolling this way while the rail is pushing it that way. It ends up bending, changing the path of the cue ball. Now what Shane does in this shot actually compensates for that because he doesn't hit with a rolling ball the way I think a lot of us would want to when we're kicking at this. He stuns the ball, hits it with a firm speed, and he makes sure the cue ball is sliding. Why does he do that? I am realizing that it is because it changes the angle of reflection. This glancing angle is going to make the cue ball dive. So Shane is compensating for this angle, right? He wants the cue ball to go off the rail and come straight out, contact with the good part of the 4 ball to make the 9. He's doing that by stunning the ball, which changes the angle of reflection to make sure that glancing angle is preserved and it's not lost. Yeah, that's it. Those are the learnings. Understanding that the edge of the cue ball is what makes contact with the rail, and measuring this type of shot really requires acute knowledge of what part of the cue ball makes contact with the rails and the balls, and then also understanding that he has to hit it with a stunning speed to cancel out the angle of reflection being smaller than the angle of incidence for a kick like this. That's pretty cool. Let's just do it one more time for good measure. So cool. There you go. That was fun. And I learned something, and also probably had a good ego check if I'm honest. I really hope you guys learned something as well. And if you didn't learn something here, I bet you could learn something from my sensei, Demetrius Gelatis. He's got a Patreon group set up where we deep dive into learning pool using training resources you're not gonna find anywhere on YouTube. It's only 20 bucks a month, and it is the best 20 bucks you're ever gonna spend on this game. Join us there. I'm active in the community, and you can get access to effective tools to reach your pool goals and a coach who understands what it actually takes to get you there. Check out the link in the description or the pinned comment, or do it the easy way. Take a picture, scan the QR code. That's it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I do try to respond to pretty much everything. I'll see you there. Happy shooting.